Hello again with the Sports Desk. After delighting South Africans with their medal achievements at the Tokyo Olympics, Tatjana Schoenmaker and Bianca Buitendag arrived home to a sensational welcome. And our thanks to Atterbury and USN's crowdfunding project, Spansaam. They will be rewarded for their exploits. To tell us more, we are now joined via Skype by Tatjana's coach, Rocco Mayron. He's just fresh out of a function. Bianca is coach Greg Emslie, and a representative from Atterbury, Zahn Hulme. Zahn, let's start with you whilst we're just waiting on Rocco to join us. Let's just start off with you. Clearly, there was some confusion amongst the elation welcoming Tatjana and Bianca back from Tokyo after their wonderful achievements, medals that they achieved in Tokyo. Your decision was born out of, at which point did you and your team decide this needs our assistance?
I think immediately when the announcement was made by SASCOC that there is no money available, I think the very next morning, it was after, we heard it actually on Breakfast TV, and I think immediately our Atterbury Group CEO, he phoned USN and he said, we want to do something about this. It's just unacceptable that there's no money available. And we decided to raise the crowdfunding initiative. Within a day, we had the platform, and we provided the initial 500,000 together with USN. And then we appealed to the public to contribute.
Now, clearly, from a business point of view, the assistance to the sporting fraternity has come in very handy at this stage, Zahn. I just want to check with Greg if he can take us down memory lane. Clearly, surfing also has its challenges as far as funding is concerned. Let's just give the viewers some of the examples of how difficult it has become for pro athletes to keep themselves alive and also in peak condition with the shortage of funds for most sporting codes in our country.
Yeah, well, I think for any sport, it's crazy when you think about becoming a professional sportsman or an Olympic sports athlete. It's a long road, and I think if you're a youngster, that's your dream. That's all you're focused on. So you're trying to not focus on funding, but obviously for everyone around you, maybe your family, your coaches, managers, etc., and your sporting bodies, that becomes a real challenge. So, yeah, to have funding from Atterbury, USN, and the crowdfunding, I think this is huge, and it's something that wasn't even on our minds. We had our heads down and obviously focusing on a good result in the Olympics and the medals. But going forward, and of course looking back, the funding is key, and you know, we've been in a position to obviously sort of just fund ourselves, and I come from a professional background, a professional surfer as well. So for me, it was just putting back time and trying to get a good result for not only for Bianca but for surfing, and of course get the name of surfing out there.
Now, Greg, we all know that achieving these monumental feats at the global showpiece, which only comes around every 4 years, is pretty hard work. But just give us a breakdown of time spent per day, the amount of years that Bianca's had to diligently set herself, you and your team set goals to get to this wonderful achievement.
Yeah, it's something I need to sit down and probably put sort of pen to paper and work out how long it's taken between my time and her time. Of course, she's been a professional athlete for years. As I mentioned, I was a professional athlete, and then on the coaching side, it's basically probably been a 10 or 12-year run up to this, and dealing with junior teams and then into open teams, going to World Junior Championships, Open World Championships, and then the last 4 or 5 years it's been the Olympic qualifiers, which has been 3 weeks of competition each year. Then you've got your training camps, and they've generally all been unfunded. And then just with Bianca and I spending time, obviously lots of video analysis, and doing training camps. We did little mini 4 or 5 day training camps. We did a bunch of them before Olympics. And then, of course, getting to Olympics early and the time at Olympics, it's absolute hours. But, of course, yeah, you need the passion for that, and I think that's what was on our side.
Sorry, just to get back to Zahn from Atterbury, can you just give us an idea of the craziness that ensued once you and your team, along with USN, decided that this needs to happen? What was the response like? Clearly it was a crazy couple of weeks, and once you've explained that, after the Minister of Sport's announcement on Friday, it seems as though the amounts are pretty similar to what you and your crowdfunding initiative has come up with, when this will be distributed to the coaches and the athletes, and what the plan is going forward.
Okay. Now, it was important for us to be credible. I mean, the Atterbury Trust has been going for more than 20 years. We award bursaries. We have community projects. So I think we are a trustworthy, credible trust, and Atterbury and USN are credible, I think, iconic South African companies. And also, as the CEO of USN also said, they've been investing in sport. So it's important for us to put our money where our mouths are. So what we did is, like I said, we had the crowdfunding platform within a day on our trust website, and then we had more than 100 individual donations. So we had donations from as little as 100 Rand, and then we had 200,000 or 300,000 Rands from, individuals and companies. And we managed to raise just over R1 million. Initially, we set out to raise 1.3 million, but we raised just over R1 million. And it was important also for us to immediately contact Tatjana's agent, because we wanted to remain credible, and so she approved our initiative immediately. And also every cent will be going to the athletes. That was also important for us. There's no commission or admin fees or anything. Everything raised is actually going to Tatjana, Bianca, Rocco, and Greg. And yeah, like I said, it was quite crazy, but we had a platform on our website, and we just had pledges, payments from individuals and companies. And we've actually arranged the handover is on the 9th of September. It's at USN's offices in Pretoria, and we've invited everybody, and we're actually delighted because Tatjana's not in the country at the moment. She's taking a bit of a break. She's in the Netherlands, but all four will be actually present at the handover on Thursday, the 9th of September in Pretoria.
Thank you so much, Zahn Hulme from Atterbury. We're going to say goodbye to you now so that we can get to hear from Rocco also, Tatjana Schoenmaker's coach. Whilst we allow Rocco just to get onto the platform, just Greg, give us some idea of the interaction that you've had with SASCOC since your return from Tokyo, and what their vision is now that this wonderful achievement has been made for the sport of surfing. Will there be new interventions, different interventions as far as developing the sport further and investing more as far as SASCOC is concerned? Your thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, so obviously since getting back from Olympics, it's been quite a busy time, and it's been a lot going on. So, and SASCOC have been great. They were really fantastic. We were well looked after at Olympics, and the support and everyone was just unreal. It was fantastic. So I personally haven't been speaking with them too much. I've also had a bit of time off, but I'm sure in the coming weeks we're going to be speaking to them, and of course with our federation, which is Surfing South Africa, headed up by Robin de Kock. We are hoping to, obviously it would be good news to know that there's more funding and more, towards high performance and other programs. And of course we are busy with there's the Paralympics at the moment, so obviously SASCOC's still very busy with that. But I'm sure once everything settles and they're back in South Africa, we'll be able to discuss more funding and hopefully looking at more programs. But yeah, exciting times ahead. We're obviously new to Olympics. So yeah, we just excited and looking forward to many opportunities.
Sadly, Bianca couldn't be with us today. Just a word on her and how satisfying it was for you to be part of her team and helping her to get to this wonderful milestone, and what the plans are for her for the immediate future now that she's reached this wonderful milestone.
Well, yes, with obviously the immediate plans is Bianca has retired from surfing, so it was a great way to end off a fabulous career. And she's got quite a few projects that she's working on and getting great support. There's a primary school she's looking at building in the George area, and she's had huge support with that. So hopefully that can take off. And on the coaching side and management side of Bianca, that was a real honor and a privilege. It's probably the most respected student I've had, just always respecting me as a coach and asking me what work needed to be done and going out and doing it. And for me, I think that was basically what made her the champion. Is, I always say you need skill, strategy, attitude, and across the board, her skill is 10 out of 10, her strategy is 10 out of 10, and her attitude is 10 out of 10. So as a coach, working with someone like that was really an honor, and she totally deserves every bit of silver in that medal.
Thanks so much for your time and chatting to us. That was Greg Emslie, the coach of silver medalist of surfing, Bianca Buitendag. Sadly, we could not connect with Tatjana Schoenmaker's coach, Rocco Meyering. He was just tied up in a different function. And then also thanks to Atterbury's Zahn Hulme for talking to us about the Spansaam crowdfunding initiative to raise funds for these wonderful athletes that have made us proud at the Tokyo Olympics, and the coaches.